Well, I am now live. Welcome to Simon no ChaNoMa. Simon's living. I'm just going down to get my wine. I didn't want to leave you alone. My living room is safe where it is, and naturally, when I decided to stay inside, the sun decided to come out after all the threats of summer storms and rain and what have you. Now, where's my wine? Where did I put it? Oh, yeah. Nice bottle of Californian red. And have a quick look in my fridge. Want to have some Parmesan cheese. Jolly good. What else do I need? Maybe, ooh, gone all dark. Some bread. Some bread. I can't see comments. Comments, if you're commenting, hello Frederick, by the way. If you're commenting upstairs on my computer. Yeah, healthy. Some bread, cheese, wine. I suppose I better get a glass. Excuse me, ratching about in my kitchen. How am I going to manage all this? Bread, cheese, wine, glass. I'll just go in my living room, my real living room for a minute, and you can see my messy kitchen. I shall move quickly out of my messy kitchen. Yes. I don't have the streets of Japan to wander about in springtime. I just have my, I'll try and avoid showing my washing. I just have my rather nice, cozy living room. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's very bright. Can't do anything about that. I'm going to go upstairs now and join you in my imaginary living room, and we shall talk about spring, and I shall read you a haiku by Matsuo Basho, I think, and we shall discuss the birds, the bees, and things like that. Okay, right, follow me back upstairs. That was just briefly. I'll shut the door now. I've got to open that without dropping everything. Okay, whoop. No, there's, oh, back into my acoustic hall. It's nice having a duplex apartment. Ooh, ooh. Right. I could get feedback when I move in. I've just turned the microphone down. I have no idea who's there besides Frederick. Could be nobody. Okay, let's move behind the magic curtain. Oh dear. Oh, is that what I look like close up? Dear me. Try not to fall. And then I go, oh, no, I don't. What I do is put this down. Just like, right. And I leave this. Hooray! And I'm back. Okay. Oh, I'm lagging. I appear to be lagging a lot. All right. If I turn that off. Excuse me. Turn this off. Power off. There we go. Take this out of here. I can't hear you because it's all switched on. Pop that there. All right. Pop this back in here. Okay. Now, where were we? Yes, wine, cheese, spring. Anybody who's there? Who have we got? Oh, blimey! Hello, Robert. Hello, Frederick. Hello, Bilko. Who have we got? Hello, Jackie. Yes, nice to see you this morning, Jackie at Drew's. Any nature today? I can do you some. What I'll do, I'll go to my Minicam and I'll get you some shots of nature that I have from my own shots of nature. It could go quite laggy because of I'm using. There we go. Oh, look, a hare, spring hare. That was one I took a couple of years ago on a walk. You're so confused. I like to confuse my audience. Confuse myself most of the time. Okay. Cheers, everybody. Ooh. There we are. Oh, no. There's some cherry blossoms from a couple of weeks ago in a Japanese garden in Belgium. Concrete, plenty of concrete in Belgium. Concrete, tarmac. I'm dropping Parmesan cheese all over the floor. Excuse me. I'm going to have to tidy my spare room. Oh dear. I think that's a big enough piece of Parmesan cheese. Hey, me Dibble. Yeah, I still haven't bothered getting a Bluetooth microphone. Hence the So spring. It's nearly finished. It's going towards summer. Not been much of a spring here, really. Usually spring is in March. It's quite fresh and cold, and there's a nip in the air, and you look forward to the gradual warming of it. But it just started off all at one level, kind of like a bland, mild temperature. Is it still that rabbit? Not the hare. Hang on. He's on the loop. How do I get that? No, where's it gone? There we are. No. 2 hot days in London. Hot as in hot weather, or hot as in exciting, or both? I probably do need a Swiss Army knife for cutting the cheese. Cut the cheese. So yes, I mean, at least I can see what you're talking to me about while I'm doing this. This was my big concern. I could wander off into a garden like this and waffle on like I'm talking to a brick wall. There's a guy wandering around there talking to himself, and I wouldn't be able to see your comments or respond. You don't do exciting. No, it's all right. Neither do I, really. I mean, maybe about like once a year when I go to Japan, or if I go to Japan. That's about it. But most of the time, it's very calm with me. Yes, and soporific. Bread. I had bread. Didn't I? Cheese, bread, and wine. There you are. Very, very arty. I remember in the days as an art student, cabbage soup flavored with OXO. Cheap, healthy, and disgusting. I need grapes. That's a good idea, yes. Oh. I should sit there sort of being decadent. These pictures are going really fast. I shall go to a slightly more stable background. Yeah, well, the first time I flew was in 1995. But not that, I mean, I didn't flap my arms and take off like in the Monty Python sketch. No, I mean, I went on an aeroplane. An aeroplane. Ooh, we are posh. An aeroplane. And it was not nothing. No, I didn't. Where did I go? I went to. It was more than 1995, 1992, 91, 1990. I can't really remember. God, it's that long ago. I flew to Italy. First time on the plane. Motivation being Italian lady, young Italian lady. And I went to stay in her parents' villa in the spare room under the stairs. Hey Ed, is it sunny up in Holland? It's sunny here. Everybody in comments. This is Ed Edits. He knows Shivers' sister. He's friends with Shivers' sister. Go by land and sea to Japan. You'd be on your way for a bit. Good blimey. I'd run out of holiday before I got there. At that rate. Yeah, so my first flight was I think my uncle. I went to my uncle's, who lives near Manchester, and they drove me to the airport. Can't for the life of me remember, because I'd never been on my own to an airport before. How old was I? 25 or something like that. It was all a bit of an experience. It only lasted a couple of hours on the plane to Italy. It was like no big deal. Can't remember when it was, what period. I'm trying to tie it into spring. Oh, this is my friend in Yamaguchi, by the way. And this is in Yamaguchi. And if Englandese pops in, he maybe recognise this. This is Akiyoshi-dai, the karst plateau above the caves. Japan's biggest cave network is underneath there, and my friend and I had just been exploring there. But that's if you go to my Instagram, you'll see a little clip, a video clip, taken not long after this photograph was taken, and you can hear a spring cuckoo. So that's the link with spring now. So I'll just finish this piece of bread, and then I shall do you some. I shall attempt my my haiku from Basho. 1 to 2 months approximately to get to Japan over land and sea. Bloody hell. I suppose you have to, yeah. Without going through dangerous bits. Frederick's first flight was 1968. When he was about so high. Hey, Englandese, I was just talking about you. You recognise this, don't you, Englandese? Well, it's not that far from you. You recognise it, Akiyoshi-dai? I think it could be that Frederick is the oldest person in the audience at the moment. I may be wrong. If some of my subscribers who came over from Drew's channel turn up, it'll be in strong competition. Now, I may have confused you again, England. I may have confused you with one more guy, Jim, who lives in Okayama. But somebody on Facebook, I can't remember if it was you or him, said that they were off this weekend up the hills in Yamaguchi. Now, it could have been him, it could have been you. But see that you're in comments. I mean, it is 8:45 at night, so you may have been up a hill in Yamaguchi and back. Oh, Jackie, you are. Yes, we won't ask. It's not polite to ask ladies. Oh, I can remember that, being 48. I think I was still married. No, I was divorced. I was divorced then, yeah. Well, you're in a strong competition, Frederick. You'll have to do a private comparison with Jackie. There we go. I think Frederick's not far behind you. Hello, who's that? Oh, Joshu Zippolin messaged me. That's one of my. I've been messaging my former guests, as I announced in the advert. Next Sunday will be my first anniversary show, and I've been like running around like a blue-ass fly, trying to get it organised. And he's one of the former guests. He'll be joining with Rescue the Princess, otherwise known as Lost Link, otherwise known as Matt, who makes cosplay videos. He was one of my guests, and they've he and Joshu and Hiroshi, the composer, they're all like connected and friends, so they're going to be joining. Oh wow, Jackie just beat you by a few months, Frederick. And we're all jealous of Frederick because he's retiring shortly. Oh, you are retired. And Jackie's going to be retired. The rest of us are jealous. Well, I am. I know that. Where was I? Tell me where I was. I've lost track. Oh yeah, I was gonna. I'm stuffing my face, and I was going to read you this poem by Matsuo Basho. Anybody in the audience who know who he is? I think most people in Japan have heard of Matsuo Basho. Sorry. Bloody geriatrics. Oh, shut up, Ed. How to win friends and influence people. Well, if you go to Tokyo Drew's channel, I'm one of the younger viewers. Hey, Ty. What's up? We're comparing ages, Ty. So I'm also asking, does anybody know who Matsuo Basho is? Okay, you'll have to sort of expand on that, me Dibble. Mount Haguro and stairs. I'm assuming that it's quite tall and there are lots of them. All right. We have to excuse Englandese. His baby just vomited on his face and farted on his lap. Well, this is what happens with babies, I can tell you. We had this thing called the pamper bucket, which is like the bucket from hell. You resemble that remark. Jackie, I'm beginning to wonder which remark you're referring to. Still nobody's told me who Matsuo Basho is. I went to an exhibition at the former museum I used to work at in England quite a while ago now. The Wordsworth. Everybody's heard of Wordsworth, I hope. I used to work at the Wordsworth Museum in the middle of the Lake District. And obviously, it's a romantic poetry. And they had a rather nice exhibition on Basho that came over from Japan and they had it in their museum. 2,500 steps. Yes, he needs to get out of the house. One more gaijin, now and again. I used to be able to do that sort of thing. 2,500 steps. Now I just let the young people do it. Where I've got this? Okay. Well, I shall go back to my living room. So just calm, out of focus living room. My pretend living room, and I shall click up. Okay. Right, this Matsuo Basho. I mean, I'm hammering on about this. I'm sorry. 17th century Japanese haiku poet, the most famous. And haiku. I remember how haiku evolved. It's long-winded, and I won't bore you with it. But it became a trend. There was a poetry style called tanka before that, and people talked in or had rounds of poetry, and each person would have to come up with lines of a poem, and so the initial couplet of a tanka poem evolved into becoming the haiku. Excuse me. The 1965. Actually, this rather blurry LP cover here. This is the Ventures, because I've seen in proper focus. It's the Ventures in Japan in 1965. So there you go. Yes. Anyway, 17th century haiku poet. You maybe heard of like the one about the frog that drops into a pond and goes plop. And it's his most famous haiku. 700-year-old pagodas in the middle of a cedar forest. I would climb 2,500 steps for that. You resemble the geriatric remark about Tokyo Juice Channel. Oh, William Logan's on there. He was 62. If you're watching, William, you told me yourself. Anyway, I'm procrastinating on Matsuo Basho. Anyway, you can Google him these days. It's the wonders of the internet. But since it's spring, and it's well into spring, and in Japan it's sort of getting quickly into rainy season, which is the beginning of summer. But this is a poem a haiku poem by Basho, towards the beginning of spring. Right. I shall do it in my best Japanese. Are you ready? Hello, Janina. 48. Yes. You any age is welcome. 8 to 80. I'm just about to declaim. Okay, set the scene. You're there in your rough kimono on a wild and windswept mountain pass in Japan, the beginning of spring. Haru moyaya, kishiki totono, tsuki to ume. I didn't say it would be long. That's the thing with a haiku. It's quite short, and what that means basically is the spring haze, the scent already in the air, the moon, and ume. Ume are plum, generally meaning plum blossoms. And the interpretation of that is from a dry winter to a little moist spring. There we are. Nothing better than a little moist spring. So yes, that's. I mean, the advent of spring. That was what all the flowers and the birds. I didn't have any birds. I had some baby ducks, and I had a spring hare. And it's it's that season for those in the younger members of the audience when you're supposed to get busy, you know, to fulfill the meaning of life. I'm just checking. Are there any younger members of the audience? Oh dear. Yes, I shall not embarrass my children by going into details. Today we are having Californian red. I quite like Californian red. It's kind of fruity. It's a fruity ruby Cabernet from Central Valley, California. They make quite good wine actually, and it's 13%, which is pretty good. Helps to keep the flow going. My webcam seems to be struggling. Drew said that there would be a redo of direct talks with him, and in that case, I shall be raw and unplugged without all this fancy backdrop because it was causing havoc. Hey, Jackie. Jackie number 2. Jackie number 1 is in the house. Jackie number 2 is in the house. So did anybody else see? Well, I was in debate of whether to go to Norm's visit of the Sanja Matsuri live show. I saw a bit of Drew's, but Drew was mostly just like having a drink and a fag in the back alley. By the time I got to him this morning, so later on, I knew that Norm was going to be doing Tokyo Lens was going to be doing his Sanja Matsuri, but there was like major Wi-Fi problems. But did anybody see Only in Japan Go? Was that any sort of more coherent than Tokyo Lenses? You have a beer that's 12%. That sounds Belgian. But yes, that was. I mean, I've never actually witnessed in person a matsuri in Japan. Something I'd quite like to do. I've been asking people on Facebook. People are sort of. There's a company that that's friends with Phoenix 787, one of my guests from a while ago when I did the live stream from the YouTube Hanami party after party, and the people that run the place that the after party was at, I follow them on Facebook, and they were announcing that the Kanda Matsuri was on. This was a couple of weeks ago, so I said, please get some video, and they liked my comment, and that was the last I heard of it. But if you saw my show last week, me waffling on about Nihonbashi and that area, Kanda Matsuri sort of goes around that area. So I was quite keen to see some video of it. You watched them both? Which one did you watch? Only in Japan Go? Was that? I mean, it was on at the same time, so maybe you've got 2 screens and 2 computers. Drew's was too early. Yeah, it was quite early. But I being one of the older members, older YouTubers, I had that sort of middle-aged bloke waking up in the goddamn early hours of the morning for no reason thing, and naturally I reached for my phone and checked to see if I'd got any messages or anything, and noticed that Drew was on. So I'd go and have a look, and you lot, most of you lot were there, so that was good. Yeah, Tokyo Lenses one kept. Oh, you saw the Only in Japan one. How was it? How was it? I mean, was it sort of less glitchy than? I mean, Norm and Victor. They stuck to the back streets, and that way the Wi-Fi was okay. Ed Edits is almost on 1,000 subs. There you are, people. If you've not subscribed to Ed Edits, subscribe now and make him make videos. I mean, he's got all these drones that he races and stuff, and we haven't seen hide nor hair of it. Ah, Delft Sail. Delft Sail. I know Delft. I don't know Delft Sail. Oh, they had problems as well. Yeah, and Norm was saying that as soon as you went near, he was asking us like, to say, and the audience, he was asking the viewers, tell me as soon as you see problems. The minute he got anywhere close to Asakusa, sort of the main area, the Wi-Fi went all bad. Yeah, the John Daub's is about 1 hour, and Norm's was also just over an hour. Hey, Carrie, is Joe there? Hi, Perk. Because I messaged him. Can you ask him to check his messages, Carrie? About next Sunday. Now, I'd love to do another out and about vlog, but if I do, it'll just be me talking to my phone and hoping. I shall probably have to sort of do like I did last time and try and get someone to message me. My oldest son, messaged me last time. There are so many people watching. So and so said this. So and so said that. And that's the only way I can. And unless I sort of between now and the next time I decide to go do a live stream, I get another like 556 subscriptions. Then I won't meet the 1,000 subscription limit. I'm very grateful. I after Drew sort of plugged me. That doesn't sound very good. Now, after Drew plugged my channel the other week, my subscriptions jumped by about 30, which is rather nice. So I'm now at 444. 4 is my favorite number, so I'm quite happy with that. But in order to be able to sort of see your comments again whilst I'm live streaming out and about, I need 1,000 subscribers. Asakusa is the first place you stayed in Japan. Quite busy around there, though. It's nice, but busy. Whoa. Oh, you just saw my spam now, Frederick. I did spam you. I was sat in the coffee shop this morning having my coffee and Belgian chocolates as usual, and like just sat there spamming everybody on Messenger with my link. It's my Saturday morning routine. Yes, it's rather good. 444. I mean, I know 4 in Chinese and Japanese culture is bad because it's associated with death, but it's my favorite number. I'm getting quite laggy. What I could do is knock off the birds, the bees, and the hair, because that's. I mean, I'm using this Manycan app. Thank you, Robert. But it does tend to chew up and I can switch off the. Do you want to save changes you've made in the poem? No. Okay. What else can I switch off without causing everything to crash? The number 4, yes, I was just saying, Frederick, it's an unlucky number in Japan because it's the way it's pronounced is the same way you pronounce death. Die, die, die. Da, da, da. It means dead. Yeah. So I'm 444 times dead. It's the zombie show featuring Simon no Chanama. So next week, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but Frederick connected me with a YouTuber he has discovered. She's called Saki. She is from Tochigi Prefecture, and she gives Japanese lessons in YouTube fashion, the usual, a bit like Tomoko Des does. Who's that? Somebody else has messaged me. I'm lost now. Daniel. Oh, Daniel. Hey. Okay. Oh, okay. No, it's one more gaijin. He's not going to be able to make it to next week's anniversary show. Okay, I'll just message him back for the heads up. Okay, right, where were we? Sorry, distracted there. Any travel plans this year? Well, just my usual, Janina. In July, I go to England for just over a week to visit my folks and take my sons with me. And my oldest son can drive now, so that takes a bit of the weight of doing it because it's a 10-hour journey. What anniversary am I celebrating? The anniversary of this show. Actually, it's a bit late. I should have done it in April, apparently. I looked back and thought, oh, yeah, right, yeah, I started in April of 2018. But no, I was like that busy sort of doing other stuff, other, guests and live streams. I thought, oh, right, I better do my anniversary. So so what's happening is basically I'm badgering former guests into coming along on next Sunday, and sort of trying to group them together. For example, I've got Eric Surf 6 and Radri and in Radri's girlfriend Kiki. And they've all been guests, and they're kind of friends with each other. So I thought maybe get them on together for a few minutes. And Shivers' sister is going to come on first because it's nice, like lunchtime in England where she lives. So she'll be on first, and then I'm just kind of organise. Some people can't make it, like Daniel just messaged there. He's off, so it'll be hit and miss who all turns up. And at least I'll have some guests. Anyway, what I was saying about Saki-san, yeah, she's in Tochigi, and she should be coming on next Saturday. So I'll be. It'll be an entire weekend with me. Wasabi cars, Daniel. Not wasabi cars, Daniel. No, one more gaijin, Daniel. I think Englandese has been incapacitated, I think. You have to be careful with baby farts, Englandese, because they're not just always farts, Elstree and Leeds. Leeds. I haven't been to Leeds for years. I think the last time I was in Leeds was 1985. I went to see the Cramps at Leeds University. And Elstree. I think that's down south. It's where the old film studios used to be. Your stream was about 30 seconds behind. That's all of us over 40 on the toilet in a morning. Our streams are about 30 seconds behind. Sorry. Oh, many cam. Yeah, there we go. Pebble dashing. Oh dear. Now who's misses me? Oh, it's Frederick. Frederick, I'm in the middle of it. Have a wonderful. Thank you, Frederick. Or was it somebody else? No. Right. Kaz was saying that he could join probably because he's got that many models that he goes and photographs. All right, let's click these off. You don't have the problem. Generally, if I have alcohol, I don't have that problem either. So you used to live in England, Janina, or are you still in England? Where are you actually? If you don't mind my asking. Celebrity stalking. Like, oh look, there's Roger Moore, and there's Harrison Ford. I think they did. No, that's Pinewood. I'm mixing it with Pinewood. I'm sorry. Oh, that's why you still have the 12% beer. You just have it there for show. Look, everybody, the good old 80s. I don't know about good. So some terrible fashion disasters. I did enjoy my time as a young student, art student in the 1980s. I mean, you would have to be a bit maudlin not to enjoy yourself as a young art student in the 1980s. In the middle of Finland. Well, sometimes, Janina, we have May the Mediator. Come, she sometimes turns up at live streams that we go to. She was at Drew's this morning, and she sometimes pops in here. She's from Finland too. We have to sort of, if she appears in the stream at some point in comments, you'll have to sort of connect and have a YouTube meetup. I recommend YouTube meetups. Work for me. I've met almost all people that inspired me to do YouTube. We know you live in Zurich. I flew over Zurich on the way to Japan. Frederick and I are trying to persuade Eyes Munchies to Isan from Eyes. If you haven't Eyes Munchies, check it out. She's friends with Tabby Eats. I'd really like to get Tabby Eats on the show. I think his mother's still visiting him, so I have to have a word with Drew to see whether he'd put the word in for me. There's no sense following fashion. Well, no. Look at me. Don't follow fashion at all. Yes, I mean, meetups are good. I should really actually have. I mean, I've met up with them and never vlogged apart from Kathy Cat and Hiko Simon. That's the only times I've actually done a live stream with my YouTube friends. I think no, tell a lie. I did a Halloween party at a Italian restaurant, but that was in the days of Three Old Dudes, and that was with Mully and Mrs. Mully and the people in the restaurant in Shizuoka. Did I meet up with you? I haven't met up. It was Raina. I met up with Raina in Brighton with Caffeine Jedi. That's right. His sister, his mother and his sister. So he's kind of like preoccupied. Hasn't really got time to, apart from hanging out with Drew, of course. Eyes munchies. Yes, Frederick and I are big fans of Ai Itsumi. I always miss her live streams. She live streams just when I'm at work. Yes, she is a very nice person. Also an attractive Japanese woman. I know someone that uploads to YouTube, but I would not call him a YouTuber. Yeah, I mean, YouTube is quite a broad, has a broad spectrum. I mean, obviously, everybody focuses on the big name YouTubers, or even sort of the middle-sized YouTubers. But there's grandmas who do crochet and upload to YouTube, and have followers and that kind of thing, and people who have old cars and fiddle about under the bonnet and upload to YouTube. Warm? 29 degrees in Finland? Bloody hell, global warming. That's ridiculous. Yeah, it's about 20 odd degrees today, so it's quite pleasant outside with a light breeze. Just looking at the tree across the railway tracks here. Mm. We've not really discussed spring very much, have I? I mean, where are you, Bilko, again? 29 degrees in Finland. That's insane. It's supposed to be near the North Pole, not. No wonder the bloody ice caps are melting. Yeah, in about 50 years. 50 years, what am I now? When I'm dead. Hopefully. Not before that. All this now could be underwater. Horrible, yeah. 29 degrees. It gets 29 degrees in my living room. If it gets to about 25 degrees outside, that living room you saw downstairs before, the real one, it's got windows that almost go from floor to ceiling. And even with the curtains closed, it's like a greenhouse. So we just sit there and like dogs in a locked car. Hello, ribbing room. Yes, it's the ribbing room, Daniel. Kampai. I think Janina meant 29 degrees centigrade, which is. They were talking about spring, Daniel, and the birds and the bees and the rabbits. But most people in the audience, yourself included, have all been there, done that, got it out of our systems, and are checking our bank balances to make sure that the results of our spring activities get their college fees paid and stuff. Excuse me. I'm just checking comments. Yes, well, Robert is in Toronto. He can tell you how warm is it outside, Robert? In Helsinki, it's 19 degrees. Oh, Janina's in the sauna. Has a waterproof phone. See you, Ed. He's off to fly his drones. Not a snowball's chance in Helsinki. Kabum Tish. There we are. We can tell there's dads in the audience. Sauna was yesterday. Oh, God. I think I once went into a sauna and then decided that it was like insane and didn't stay in very long. It's a bit like onsen, really. The washing yourself off bit with the shower, that's all, very pleasant. And then you get in the water and it's like, oh, God. 11 degrees C, according to Google. You better go now, Janina, not in 2 weeks' time. In 2 weeks' time, it'll be like twice that or 3 times. So I'm making an announcement now. I'm putting the pressure on myself. I have been since last week. I was chatting with my friend in Nihonbashi, and I was just saying, "What are you up to?" And I said, "I'm editing a video." So there we are. I'm editing a video from my last trip to Japan. I've got several, all raw material, and it's going to be my for those who were there for my live stream. One of my live streams from Japan. It's from Onomichi. It's not the live stream. That's up on my channel, but it's the footage I took before doing the live stream in the morning. But 6:30 in the morning, I got up and walked up the hill in Onomichi in Hiroshima Prefecture. So that'll be that'll be coming out on my channel at some point, possibly if I get my finger out this weekend. But yeah, I mean I like doing these. This is fun. We're going out and making videos. I mean, for those of you who've trawled through my channel, you'll see my walking videos. I can knock those off like nobody's business. And just go out to a nice village or town in Belgium and wander about and blather on, and then come back and edit it all together. But I kind of got to the stage where it felt like, there's not a lot of people watching this, and it's all a bit samey. So vote, people, please. Do I go out and make more of those kind of videos? Get out. Well, well, nobody saw me get out of the onsen. This was in Yamaguchi in 2015. Nobody saw me get in the onsen. Luckily. You like the walkabout videos, Bill? Okay. I'll maybe make. I mean, the one I did from Onomichi is a walkabout video. Just be wandering up the hill. Lots of lovely little narrow streets there. I'd recommend it to anybody in Japan or going to Japan. Pop into Onomichi. It's on. You can stop at. I can't remember what station it was. Shinkobe station, and then you can get the train from Shinkobe station to Onomichi. And I can recommend the guest house that I stayed in, Yardo Curly. It's called. I mean, actually, that's how it's written. How it's pronounced. It's a very bizarre sounding name, but it's very cozy, kind of laid back, hippie-ish sort of place. And you get when you arrive, they ask you what time you're going to arrive because they need to know for the amount of food they're going to make. Because you turn up and arrive, and you sit down at the table immediately with all the other guests, and you're served food. Unfortunately, I didn't actually get any video in the guest house, but it was a very relaxed and nice place.
I have all-season tires on my car. Can't be bothered with all that. Like here, I never had that in Britain. Just like one season all year round doesn't really matter because it never really got seriously cold and slippy in England for any length of time. But in Belgium and Germany and other places, it's like by law you're obliged to change your tires when it gets to a certain season, and that's a right hassle. How did we get onto that? Finland, Finland, Finland. Place where I quite like to be. Sorry, Monty Python. Yeah, how did like Leeds to Finland? That's an interesting. I should get you on the show and you could come and explain. I tried to get Mindy's mom to come on. Strollers in Tokyo, you'd be all right. They ride bikes on the pavement in Tokyo, so strollers is no problem. Might be a bit tricky getting on the metro though. 2 years old. It's a bit maybe just a bit big to sort of carry in a papoose type thing. Yeah. I remember when my two were little, we went to London. I think no, we went to London and then from London to my folks in the Lake District. But we decided one year to go just with the like a stroller, suitcases, not with the car, but with the train. Not advisable. Everybody, Frederick has a side job with the Swiss tourist office, obviously. Last time I went to Switzerland, I was surprised. I was north of Switzerland. I was like, where are the bloody mountains? There's no mountains. There's just a few small hills. And it was also about like 26, 27 degrees. It was a heat wave. So it was a heat wave with no hills. And I thought, am I in Switzerland? And Japan, there's not a lot of strollers in Japan, generally because there's not a lot of babies being born. So you'll be all right. Mindy's mom. I've asked Mindy's mom to be a guest. She's very camera shy, apparently. So most of the people I've been trying to get hold of for the past 4 weeks. I'm still trying to get the all-women 4-piece saxophone quartet. But looking at their Instagram, they're always busy. Not only are they a quartet that plays together, but each of them, more or less, each of them individually is in a separate band, which also has gigs. So trying to find a time when all of them can be together. They only get together on Tuesdays to practice as this saxophone quartet. So if I ever did a live stream with them, it would have to be on a Tuesday. I mean, I have been in Tokyo rush hour once, about 8 o'clock at night in Shinjuku Station, going to meet up for the second time. Oh, for the first time. No, the second time. First time with my very first person I subscribed to on YouTube. And he said, meet me in Shinjuku. And I was staying in Akasaka. And I got the metro to Shinjuku, and it was about 8 o'clock. There was just a tide of people coming up out of the station. Does Frederick take American Express? Yeah. Comes to something when you're busking on the streets and you have a credit card machine. Is it that time already? Good grief. I've been going on for an hour. I'm talking about nothing, really. Spring didn't really come into it. I'm terribly sorry for all those who came expecting spring and who are watching afterwards throughout. But you got a haiku. You got a spring haiku. And I steered clear of, apart from some allusions to what happens in spring. But spring is coming to an end, and it's the rainy season. I wish it was raining here. Actually, that would justify me sitting inside instead of being out and about. I was very lazy. I'm sorry, but I did wake up at about 4 o'clock this morning, and if I hadn't have done that, I might have been more inspired to find a location. The trouble with finding locations to do outside streams here is I've done Antwerp, and I've done Bruges, and I've done Ghent, and they're all within reasonable distance. I did think at one point of going to Luxembourg, but it takes nearly 3 hours to drive there and 3 hours to drive back. And then an hour in Luxembourg city. A very nice city. With me waffling on. Just, no. So I took the easy option. Yes, I'm having this was Parmesan cheese at 50% off from the supermarket. And if you know anything about Parmesan cheese, when I was in Italy, it was slightly more reasonably priced there, but it's ridiculously expensive. So yeah, I'm polishing off Parmesan cheese, red wine, and bread. I have a bit of a pot belly, which I had got rid of about a year ago, because I'd cut out rice and cut out like pasta and cut down on my bread and cut down on my alcohol consumption. And my belly started to get less and less. And then I regressed. Well, I'm talking about my, oh dear. So, to summarize, spring, birds, bees, rabbits, going at it like spring is ending. Next week, I shall be having a guest. If she responds, I've yet to sort of do 20 questions for her and send those to her. And she's never done a hangout before. And I said, do you want to try a test hangout? But she's okay just to sort of click on the link on the day. So hopefully there's no major technical issues. But Saki will be joining us next week. And the day after that, it'll be my anniversary show. So I've got 2 adverts to make next week. Bloody hell. Hopefully you'll join me next Saturday and next Sunday. There'll be sufficient promotion, and hopefully I will have more to talk about. But for now, started getting fluffy. You get fluffy in the sauna. Okay. And on that note, getting fluffy in the sauna in Finland, I shall round up this stream. Thank you all for joining. Janina, Bilko, Dibble, Officer Dibble, Frederick, Robert, Ty, Karina, Daniel, Ed's gone, Janina, did I say that already? Perk. Who else? Anybody I've missed, I'm terribly sorry. Or if you're watching and but not been commenting, thank you for joining. I can't actually see how many people have been watching, but I shall be here again next week. You can have your usual dose of me, and with a guest, and on the Sunday, lots of guests, hopefully, reminiscing about their time on the show. So thank you all for joining, and see you again next week. Bye, everybody.